Hey all, we're continuing on. Had a little camera issue with issue 37, so you didn't see the finished product, but here it is. This is issue 37. We got the calipers in. We got the brake lines attaching to the calipers. Looks pretty realistic. I used dabs of glue to keep these in. They look pretty flimsy. So we have the differential, we have the rear axle, we got the both disc brakes and calipers in, and so now we're moving on to our leaf springs in issue 37. So we have some shackles, we have the leaf spring hanger, and we have one of the leaf springs. It looks really realistic, don't it? So first step is to connect these shackles to the hanger. You install the smaller hole down here. That's what we're going to do. And on the opposite side, I'm going to get them started and then tighten them up. They have to be facing up when they're finished and tight. Okay, got them started. I'm going to use my bigger screwdriver. Let me hold it down while I tighten it. And get these in place. Nice little torque. Well, even though it's tightened all the way down, you still got some movement. Maybe you're supposed to. So let me start the other side. Okay, like that. And now we take the leaf spring. Okay, this has a hole in it. That's going to be facing this way. And we're going to connect it to the two shackles using these OM screws. These are these big ones right here. So I gotta do a little bit of an adjustment here. Let's take this off. Because we need a spot for that OM screw to screw into. So I'm gonna flip this around. Let's get this in here. No harm, no foul. Let's go ahead and tighten this leaf spring. Get that tightened up. There we go. We got the leaf spring in. Just gotta torque it. Do a final torque here. Okay. Then we have got to align the front of the leaf spring. Saying use OM screws to connect these, but I don't think that's correct. So, because you only got 3 OM screws, you usually have 1 extra. So I'm going to say this is going to be the FM screws. Let's see how this goes. Sometimes engineers make a mistake. Let's tighten these down. And then this piece attaches to the front of the leaf spring. There we go. Then this goes, you got a bigger hole, smaller hole. This goes in here. And then your OM screw, see how much bigger that is? No way that would have fit in there. That connects here. Let's get this tightened up. Okay, I'll be back in 1 sec. Okay, so off camera, I had these are the biggest screws I've seen so far in any one of these builds. These big OM screws that connect your leaf springs. I had to tighten them up off camera because they were really tough to get in. But this is the completed outcome of stage 38. So let's move on to stage 39. Okay, stage 39 is pretty much identical to stage 38, where we're just connecting the leaf springs to the leaf spring hanger. Let's get some AM screws and attach the shackles like we did before. Get that started. Flip it around, connect the smaller one. And screw. Okay, then we're going to torque these down. Okay, now we're going to connect the leaf spring to the hanger. These things go up this way, 90 degrees up. Just double check. Okay, we position it like so. The hole goes aft. And then we take an OM screw, a really big one. It goes in this way. Get it all the way through. And we are going to secure it now. Let me secure. Okay, moving on to the next step. We have the other side of the hanger for the leaf spring. And if you can see, this is stage 39. And it tells you to use FM screws. In stage 38, it said OM screws. And you remember what the OM screws look like. These humongous screws right here. And those will not go through there. So just keeping your eyes open and such, you can find little mistakes here and there. Maybe I will point that out to Fanhome and see if they could change it. We'll see. I'll send them a text or customer support suggestion. So get these till they bottom out. This can go down a little more. There we go. Okay. And then we attach the other side of the leaf spring. And let's tighten this up. So there you have it. This is all tightened up. Let's give it one final torque. And we'll move on to stage 40. See if I got that all the way down. Yep, there it is. Okay, be right back. All right, this issue 40, it's pretty detailed. A lot going on, a lot of little pieces. Got to pay close attention. We got some leaf spring plates. We have a bunch of U-bolts, just like you would in a real car. And they're even threaded at the end. And then we have some hex nuts, which attaches the U-bolts. And then we use an FM and AM screws. We even got a little wrench. that's going to secure the hex nuts. And then we have shock absorber springs and cylinders and pistons. So just like you would on a real car. So first step is to take my one of my plates and absorber pistons. And attach them with AM screws. Just AM screws out here. Doesn't matter which way this goes on. It's identical either side. Okay. Okay, now we take the rear axle facing this way. Flip it over like so. And then we take one of our leaf springs and it goes right over. It's got a guide pin and hole right here. Okay. And then we secure the plate to there with a FM screw. It goes right here. You get me an FM screw. It's a little bigger than an AM. Let's get this going right here. Screw that bad boy down. Okay, I'm not going to tighten it all the way. Alright, so now we got some U-bolts to install. I'm going to tighten everything at once. Let me just get everything started. Oh. It's kind of hard if your fingers are really big. Okay, the trick was getting that first U-bolt. So now I'm going to take a nut, hex nut, lay it down right on top of the screw post. Then take the little wrench they give you and run it down, get it started, and get the other one started. And now we're going to tighten everything. Now that we got everything in, just set it on top, grab it. All right. One more time. I don't know what kind of machine they're using to make these threads so small. I'm going to get a different hex nut. That one not working out very well. Grab another one. You have to be careful you don't put this, don't put the U-bolt over the brake lines. You got to kind of maneuver it underneath it. That's what I mean. See right there, the brake line, get the U-bolt inside there. All right, let's tighten everything up. I'll come back in like a little bit and make sure these are all tight. Tighten down. See, some of these are showing more threads than others. Your plate, make sure that's tight. This car is not actually going to be running or operating. There's not going to be any vibrations to make all these bolts come loose. So you really don't have to worry about it. That's why you only need to really snug things down. Don't go crazy at all tightening. But just get that feel. You gotta feel the metal. You gotta feel the object through your hands. And just stop when it stops. There you go. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. Okay, we got the plate, the absorber, AM screw, you know, this gets flipped around this way. And we're going to put our leaf spring. And we're going to put the plate. I'm going to get an FM screw. Oh, come on. Okay, I got my FM screw started for the plate. So now, once again, we're going to do the U-bolts. Make sure the bolts are not over your brake lines. Same thing you would do in real life. And plus you need the clearance to install them. If you put it over the brake lines, it's not going to reach. So let's get this going. Trick is get this outside one first. Get that started. And then easier to get the inside one. Okay, we got that started, not coming out. Okay, one more U-bolt underneath the brake line. Instances like this, it's really beneficial to have small fingers. It's like right there. There we go. We got it in there. yourself a nut, tighten it down. It's a good thing that they send a lot of extra hardware, because you'll get a defective one here or there, or you might drop it in your carpet or on the floor, never to be found again. You mechanics out there, you know what I mean. It's like you drop something in the shop and it like disappears, goes to another dimension, probably with your number 10 wrenches you can never find. Don't like that nut. Let's try another one. Perhaps it's just not lining up right. Let's go. Nice. Okay, let's tighten these down. Let's do a final torque on all these hex nuts. I already got the center one. Alright, we flip the page in our instructions. Just can't help myself, I gotta double check the torque a couple times. Okay, flip the page. We got all those in. And that's it for now. We're going to do the pistons and the cylinders with the springs probably next issue. Alright, the last two stages for this month's pack 5, is assembling the 2 rear tires. But before we do that, everything we've done so far has got to go onto the chassis. First thing to do is to install the drive shaft onto the gearbox. Okay, and that just sits right in place there. Then you take the completed rear axle assembly with leaf springs and everything, and before we do that, then we have to take the rear cylinders, which go here, let me just double check. Yes, go here, and we attach them with AM screws. They kind of sit at an angle like that. All those extra screws from the previous issue, I put them in my little container case. So now let me rotate this and install these cylinders. And give me a second. I got to adjust properly here so I can see what I'm doing. Don't need the drive shaft just yet. Get these screws in here. Okay. So I got the 2 shock absorber cylinders in. And the tricky part about this stage is you have 6 connecting points that you have to deal with all at once. You flip this back over. Every week, every month, it's getting heavier and heavier. There's a lot of metal in this. Okay, once again, put the drive shaft through the gearbox. Next, we gotta take our springs, put them in the cylinders. Now, we take our whole assembly and we have to line up all of these holes. So line up there and there. At the same time, we have to put the drive shaft in. At the same time, we have to put our cylinders in. And this should all settle into place. All right, y'all. That was pretty intense. Just got a couple more screws to tighten up here. Okay, let's get this like this. Make sure everything is tightened up decently. Okay, and the back ones, I'll flip it over and show you. Everywhere connected. You gotta juggle, like I said, 6 connecting points at once. Okay. So I'm going to pause it for a second, get the wheels and tires ready. But we put in the drive shaft to the gearbox and then to the differential, and at the same time I had to put the cylinders, the pistons into the cylinders, and there's a spring in there, so it'll spring up and down. You see that? And then your hangers back here 4 screws here, 4 screws here, and that was pretty much it for stage 41. But we are going to set up both tires and wheels, and then we'll bring this back and we'll put her on all 4s. Okay. Alright, so here we go, the last couple steps. We're going to assemble these tires. Make sure you look at your tire closely. You got an outside tire and inside, so your outside is going to match up with your outside rim. Okay, first thing you do is get your, even comes equipped with a tire valve. You take that tire valve and you put it on here. Just snaps right in there. And then you put this bad boy on. Make sure it's the outside. Okay, make sure you get the valve stem on there right. Going to be facing inwards, so you could put air in the tire. There, see that? That snaps in place. This goes over like so. Flip it over, and you're going to install this piece. I think you have a guide pin here. Yeah. Okay, let's get our HM screws together. Let's start making some tires and wheels. Okay, so we got both tire assemblies together. Just gotta make sure everything's tight before you continue. That way not loose on the vehicle. Okay, and then we take the whole chassis and we do a little, so we have hubcaps, we have a wheel washer, we have these IM screws. Okay. Hubcap. Alright, here we go. It's going to be on all 4s right now. Okay, we get the washer. We get our big screw. Tighten this up. Make sure it fits into its slot just right. And then tighten up. Okay, a little awkward here. We have movement. It's tight. Let's flip her around. This has got a groove right there, and that fits onto the wheel hub just perfect. Just gotta kind of rotate it until you feel it drop in. Okay, you put your washer, and you get your screw. Screw it down. Really long screws, so it takes a while to run it all the way. Plus, you're going into that metal wheel hub there. Get a good grip. Keep turning it till the wheel no longer wobbles. Okay. Check the other side. That's good. And all that's left is the hubcaps. You have 2 prongs. Oh, jeez. You have 2 prongs. It's kind of like a hexagon. That snaps in. Let's go to the other side. It only fits one way. And there you have it, stages 33 to 42. Just double check we didn't forget anything. Nope. And there you have it. Thanks, guys. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, share, and comment whatever you would like. I'll get back to you, and so I can make my content better for you guys. So there you have it. Stages 33 to 42. Could probably loosen these up a little bit, but I'm not really gonna roll it around a lot. It's just gonna be for display. So thank you very much. We'll see you guys next time.